Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. So, is Wabooms good? I've got that from somewhere, and I shall be trying it. It's Void Challenge, so it's not going to cost me a turn, and I think it's good. But will I be able to play it? I certainly will if opponent changes, and I can get the W doubled. But hopefully it will play in any event. If Wabooms is not good, I don't think there's an 8 with this rack, but I can easily sort it out with Mo or Bow. Always hard to choose between B and M in terms of retaining those tiles on your rack. I think M probably slightly more bingo-y. Great. Not a bingo, and my bingo, if it's good, does play. But where is the best place for it? Let me consider the floaters in the first instance, in case I have an 8. Nothing with the A. 3 high-scoring tiles makes it unlikely. I have Worm. Nothing there. Nothing with the M. No. So let's see if this stays on. And it does! Amazing! Fantastic! And look at this for a pickup. Unbelievable. Well, hopefully opponent will hang around and not abort the game, because I've got a very good chance of a back-to-back bingo here. Now, this isn't, although I have the blank, which is great, and the rack as a whole is great, I don't have an A or an E, and I have a couple of high-scoring tiles, so a bingo here may be low probability. However, I'm optimistic of finding it, and look at this, quite a large number of floaters. So, in the first instance, do I have just a bingo for my back pocket? So I have the ish ending. P and H go quite well together. I've got the dis beginning. Okay, well, nothing has come to mind yet. Wow, opponent is hanging around. Great start for him. Double, 86 points. So, what do I have? And does this C help? It goes quite well with an H. Any E's available? Well, there is, but I think I was thinking of a 9-letter play, phosphide, but it's good to have an E in the open. I think I need to look through the alphabet and see if something comes to mind. Slightly alarmed, I've thought of nothing to date. Now, let me just put this back. I have the ship component part of a word with D-O. Well, Godship is good, which plays in row G. Great, so I have a bingo. Now, where's a better one going to be? I guess row E will get doubled. That would need to have E near the end. Could end ED. Polished. Okay. Maybe I should just play that rather than continuing to search. I guess the only better play would be a play ending in A or beginning with A. How worthwhile is it to look for one of those? I don't think it is. So, polished for 70. Ooh, O, with the next to come. Maybe I should have a look. So, I'm considering an E, but I'm also considering an A. Not sure about bishop. I think it's good, and that places an I. Yeah. If this is good, I'm minded to play it. And it is fantastic. And a pretty good pickup. I may not have a 7 here, but I have generate through the T. Will that stay available? And what about other floaters on the board? How about the B? No, not seeing anything with that. W doesn't look useful. A doesn't look useful. How about the C? No. Now, opponent may be attracted to the H. And, wow, fantastic. Generate is left alone. Do I look for anything better? This is only a face value bingo. What about a play beginning with a R? Not seeing anything. I would have erg. No, I wouldn't have ergotainer. Not seeing anything onto the C. Okay. Let me get this down. Any anagrams of generate? This teenager. That doesn't fit. I am going with this. And the bingo run ends. However, I have a 100-point lead. And suddenly the board looking a little less open. Although there still are bingo lanes. And look at this, column 15, this triple word square. This looks amazingly valuable, and it's stayed open since the opening move. Now, what am I going to do here? I have a Y for going next to the B, but nothing to go next to the W. What about a play onto this H? Nothing. Play down from the E. Nothing. Okay, so I am going to have to think here. Nice play by opponent, 45 points. My lead is not that massive. I'm not seeing anywhere for Vly. I can play Vorch. Is that good? I think it is. 28 points, killing the board. Retaining the Y for BY. Killing this part of the board. 3 consonants, but the Y is a quasi-vowel, so I should stay out of trouble. And look at this, I have U, V, and Y, and the H, so very hard to get rid of all of those. That may not be good. Do I have anything onto this double letter square? Ah, what about Vuggy? £30 points, better score, better rap leave. Yeah, wow, look at that. A play which gets rid of V, U, H, and Y. Fantastic. No other G's around. Phew, well, I'm glad I played that. I think that's significantly better than Vorch. Now, pretty bingo-y set of tiles. Slightly vowel heavy with the triplicate A. I have the double ending. Not seeing anything with the R. How about the C? No, it's the triple A which is the real problem. Double A, quite a few bingos, but triple A, far less so. I have a 90-point lead. Now, I do have an E for going next to the W. But I think I have better value to the left because I can play Lana. I can only get rid of one A playing in column 15. Lana is not going to take out column 15, but it is going to sort my rack out. Both blanks have gone, which is good. And still all 4 high-scoring tiles to come, so plenty of action left in this game. 40 tiles in the bag. Now, row H with the V, triple word square. Looks like it may go well with A's, but I'm not seeing a play which reaches. So at the moment, all I've seen is Lana. And maybe Allah is better, keeping sane. Quite a good 4-letter set. Remains available. Few takes an S. I have one. So this is what I'm thinking of. And this is maximum sorting my rack out. 19 points, not too terrible from a rack of 1-pointers. And this rack leave goes really well with R. It goes well with C. I have the S for fuse. Anywhere better for A, L, A? I don't think so. That looks pretty good. I have Sodane in row O. Its anagrams are Adonize and Anodize. Anodizer is good. I have that in row C. I am bingoing again. Fantastic. I don't think Entoptic takes an S, although it could. Now, only one S to come, apart from the one on my rack. So it's difficult to know when opponent played few whether he had the S or whether he was just getting rid of F and W and scoring well. He got 34 points. Now, opponent has played Keto, which means Sodane remains available for 88 points. Bang! And I now have a 100-point lead with 24 tiles in the bag. Wow, look what I've done. I've set up a massive Z spot in row N. That's a 100-point play. What have I done? Should I have spent longer looking for a different bingo? Well, opponent's got to whatever or get off the pot, because that is a dangerous spot and I am going right there next turn if opponent leaves it alone. So I can play day in that spot. Do I have anything reaching across to the double word square beginning with Y? Wow. Does opponent have the Z? And does he have a 5-letter Z play? That's the... well, it's damaging whether it gets doubled or not. Hilarious. Opponent takes out the spot I was scared to death of. Now, that makes life a lot better. So, what do I do? Well, there are the bare bones here of another bingo. If I could get rid of A-U-Y, then date is a decent 4-letter set, which goes well with the R. I'm not too bothered about taking out bingo lanes, because there's only a couple. That's probably not fully explained. I feel I have a good lead and can survive a bingo. So, the reason for leaving bingo lanes alone for me is provided I can score well. I don't want to sacrifice massive points to take out these bingo lanes, that's the point. But if I can't score well, then I will turn my attention to taking out bingo lanes. Now, as it happens, I have not yet found a spot for AYU, which is... but I have... That's not a great spot, though. But it has merit. It completely sorts my rack out in the way that I wanted to. It's taking out a bingo lane. And in fact, it's crushing the whole of the bottom of the board, which only comprised this bingo lane. Okay, I have another thought, but let me finish this first thought. My rack leave is good enough that I have bingo prospects with the R, and if I don't, then I'm in a good position to take out these floaters next turn. Now, the downside of this rack is its dismal score, and what I'm thinking of is maybe playing down from the D here. But what do I have? What do I have? And it could begin with the R. Doughty isn't good with a Y. I think it's with an I-E. Okay, well, no, I'm not seeing anything great there, so I am going with Euchre for 12. That score horrifies me. It's just the sort of score which can give opponent a toe in the door and enable him to catch me. That's 12 points. What about this? That's 4 more points. I'm minded to do it. I don't think this C is massively dangerous, and it will generate other options. And this is 4 more points. I am going with this. Well, I draw the Q. I have cat. I have caddy on my rack. I have cade on my rack through the I. Fantastic. That remains available. Opponent creating a triple lane, but involving a V, not massively dangerous. So I'm half-minded to ignore that. The other possibility would be to play cade. Oh, no, just play caddy down here. That's it. Similar score to cade. I was reluctant to drop points, and I was thinking about playing cade, getting it doubled, but caddy scores more, takes out both floaters, and again leaves a decent rack leave, which goes well with the R and the C. I am going with this. Wow, I think I only draw vowels, which is galling. Remaining vowels, 6 out of 19, so it's vowel dry. And I have a 120-point lead. The V could be used to play Vex. Still J, X, and Z to come. Opponent opens a new bingo lane in column 2. Not massively dangerous because it will provide access to triple word squares. Now, do I definitely not have a bingo here? I don't have a 7. B or R? Is there one with the R? 5 vowel 8s are so hard to spot or so easy to miss, which is the same thing. It's an aerotone. What about the C? No, not seeing anything. Any other lanes? No, and I've only got 1-point tiles. So I'd like to play off O and E, and then the rest of the rack is pretty good. And I'm minded to leave the bingo lanes alone. So why don't I play Vo down here to take out the Vex possibility and Vox possibility. No other massive X spots on the board, and 18 points pretty decent. I'm going with this. And I draw 2 vowels. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And there are now only 2 vowels out of 12 tiles. That's good in a way. It means opponent is not bingoing unless he's got unless he's got pretty much the best possible rack. But even so, I have a 130-point lead. But drawing 2 vowels then, pretty unlucky. So I guess the play is to just play off these 2 vowels, and the remaining tiles are so non-bingo-y that I'm minded to play double EN. I think that would be far more useful for me than opponent. 9 points, pretty grim. And opponent resigns. Gosh, okay, well, we'll see what he had in a moment. And he's gone, absolutely shot out the door. So the final score, 306 to me, 306 to my opponent, 435 for me, a winning margin of 129 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Okay, well, always sad when opponent goes, but I feel very much that it was going through the motions at the end. There was the outcome of the game not in doubt. So, opponent to go first, plays armor, and here we go, wabooms for 91. Fantastic word. And yep, I did play it in that spot. Great rack for opponent. Plays Entoptic. And now I come back with, gosh, bishop for 76, 12 more points on offer, f13. Lordship through the R, benefiting from the O and the M. That's a nice play. And Dishmop, 7, m9. Look at that, Entoptic takes an S. Wow. Okay. And Godship, of course, in the same spot, so definitely better plays on offer. Opponent's rack plays Riff. And now I play Generate, but Renegade also available. Same spot. Opponent's rack plays Birch. And I have Vuggy for 30, which I was delighted to spot. It's so nice when you're able to get rid of every single crappy tile on your rack in one go. And I have an 80-point lead. Opponent's rack plays Few. Let's just go back. He does have an S when he plays Few. Interesting. My rack. And I play Allah here to leave AENS, and I like that. Gosh, that looked a nice rack, but nothing, no bingos on offer. Opponent plays Keto. And now my lead, only 20 points. But look at this, I have Sodan for 88. And there are the bingos putting an S on the end of Entoptic. And Diocesan through the sea. Now, I was aghast at the possibility of opponent sticking a Z above this E, but looking back, the 16-point advantage of playing Sodan, I think, justifies creating that opportunity for opponent. Opponent's rack plays Gur. And now, what do? I play IU for 16, which is off the pace, but I'm retaining Date, which is a good rack leave. So IU for 16, I could have got Dewey, N1. Well, setting aside the fact that I wouldn't want to create a triple lane, is Dewey for 13 more points, justified by the rack leave differential. In other words, is Date 13 points better than ATU? It's going to be close. ATU is negative. Must be minus, well, maybe minus 5 or 6. And Date, I would say, is positive, up towards the 8 to 10 mark. So there could be a 15-point difference in rack leave values and only a 13-point difference in score. So I'm happy with IU. Now, opponent's rack plays Vice. I have Caddy for 34 points, and I was about to play Cade at the top, but Caddy takes out the triple danger and the eye floater. Now, opponent has Instill. Nowhere for that. Blocked by Gur. Hilarious. Plays Intil. No missed bingo here, but 28 points on offer. Where is that? 1L. Oh, wow, interesting. I play Though, and I could have stuck an E at the beginning. Yeah, I didn't really mind the extra E, given the vowel shortage. However, playing EEO, keeping AINT, I think it's probably... yeah, I think Evo would have been a better play. Now, opponent's rack. Well, this is where he resigns. So, yes, I mean, there's absolutely no way from 130 points behind that he's going to do anything with this rack with only 5 tiles in the bag. The best that was on offer with his X was only 22 points. So I'm not surprised he just gave up and left the room crying, probably. Anyway, that was the end of the game, and it was a massive win. So absolutely rip-roaring stuff. Tremendous start to the game. Not only was it a start with a bingo, but it was a spectacularly low probability crazy bingo in Wabooms, and it was followed up by 2 more back-to-back bingos, and then I got a further one later on, and I had a bingo rack towards the end. So all the love was flowing my way, and I established a massive lead, which I, well, just kept on expanding, and my opponent couldn't take it anymore at the end and resigned. So many thanks to my opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.